What's up? Gonna do another video. This is in here. I should be working. Going crazy today. I'm gonna do the Fluffy Records vinyl tag for Fluffy Records. Seemed like a fun one, so I figured I'd jump on it. All right, first question. First album of 2025. The first album I listened to in 2025. Well, it's going to be Highway Press, Billy Strings, Got It for Christmas. Oh, such a beautiful album. He's so good. Oh, every song in this is awesome. You know, it took me a while to jump on the Billy train. I've had a couple of his albums I liked him. But, I mean, these last couple of weeks, I've just been listening, just nonstop listening to him, man. Just killer. And I bought the live album, and I bought the one, Me and Dad, in the last month. And I have the two before that. I just need Turmoil and Tinfoil now. I mean, the other ones are so hard to get, but, you know, this album is amazing. I put it on right now. Next, number 2. Oh, we had 20 questions and 5 bonus questions, so this is a long one. Number 2, an album originally released in a year that ended with 5. What's always going to be, for me, if I can use it, God Clock, old number 1. This is, if I die, bury this with me. That's all I'm saying, you know. This is my favorite album I own. I just love it. I'm so happy to own this. I got to go to, when I went to Nashville, I went to where they recorded it, and they had a big picture of them all. I love just, this is my favorite album. Guy Clark is my favorite. I have his autograph right there. I found this summer. I tell you, everybody all the time. Just love him. Just so killer. He is so amazing. I'm so glad I actually own a copy of this album. It took me forever to find one. Just love it. All right, number 3, non-stop play record you can't stop listening to. I'm a part of, let me get that out of there. I'm gonna start a part of this record club right here. It's called the Heady Wax Fiends on Facebook. If you're not a part of that, you should jump on it. There's some really good stuff on there, and a lot of people put a lot of interesting stuff that you won't hear. And this is what they actually have a record club every month, and they put a new album out, and this is one of the albums they put out. Happy Trees by Jeremy Short. It's on a bright pink. If you're into Allman Brothers, Tedeschi Trucks, you know, stuff like that, that is like bluesy rock. And I mean, look, he's got a pink furry coat on. He's a hippie dude. If you haven't heard this, man, you got to check this out. That is just a beast. I listen to it at least once a week. It's just happy and makes me feel good, man. Number 4, your 25th album on Discogs. All right, I put that in, and it was 25 Big Hits by Alabama, which I just realized I didn't know was on a red vinyl. But I have all these guys' albums, but there's a couple songs on here that are on, I can't find on vinyl. There's a song on here called, it's called Jukebox in My Mind, and it was my aunt was one of my favorite people in the world, and that was her favorite song. So I had to have this on vinyl. It's a great song. I live in Leland, North Carolina, and they get famous over in Myrtle Beach, and there's a bar that they got famous over there called the Bowery, and they sing about it in a lot of songs. I've been in there a couple of times. It's pretty cool. Number 5. Favorite release of 2024, Sack Top's Cold Beer and Country Music. You know, I'm sorry, I hate taking them out though. This is, if you're into traditional, like 90s country, like that, you know, great country writing, you know, this album could have been out with, sitting next to, you know, Tracy Lawrence, Alan Jackson back in the 90s, and you wouldn't have known the difference. That's how good this is. It doesn't sound like he's trying to be 90s. It sounds like it's 90s. This is such a good album. It's my favorite album of last year. Can't stop listening to it. So good. All right. A purple or gold record. I have a couple of gold ones, but I wanted, this was my second favorite album of the year last year. Sierra Farrell. Trail of Flowers. Beautiful, bluegrassy, you know, Americana album. I had some purple cover on, but I just love that vinyl. Purple and light blue and pinkish. It's beautiful. If you have not heard this album, you are missing out. It's just so well written. Her voice, she has one of the coolest voices out there right now. If you've not heard that album, you need to check it out. A live album from California. I looked, I think I might have had a couple, but I wanted to find something different. So this is what I found. This is O.D. Corral. Oh, Corral. So this is a private press on Wild West Records, and it's very good. It's like a country rock album, and it was recorded at Jamaica Joe's in San Diego on July 24th, 1975. Look at that cover, man. I couldn't believe that when I saw that. It's so cool, man. If you're into you know, a little bit of wailing, a little bit of, you know, the Byrds country albums, stuff like that, definitely cool. This is a very interesting album. All right, next album. Let's see, an album, a black and white album cover. I went with Jeremy Pennell's Oklahoma, Kentucky. It's beautiful. He's got that tattoo on his head. This dude is so good. I don't know if you've heard him. He's got a both states tattooed on his head. This is like traditional, like outlaw country, like honky tonk. He's got such an interesting voice. He did a lot of stuff with Arlo McKinley. They had a band together before they got famous. If you need to check this guy out. I have all his own. He's so good, and he has such an interesting like voice. But like, if you're into that honky tonk sound, you know, you would really enjoy this album and all his other albums, to be truthful. Next album, oh, sorry, that was number 9. Number 8, an album that you recently, oh no, sorry, I messed up there. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, an album with a cigarette on the cover. I went with Leanne Womack's The Lonely, the Lonesome, and the Gone. She's sitting there smoking a cigarette, looking beautiful as usual. This is a great, you know, she's singer-songwriter. She started out like kind of in the 90s country stuff, but she's a lot different now, and this is very singer-songwriter. Just love this great sounding album. Let's see. Did I miss one here? Give me 1 second here. Live album from California, an album with cigarette, a black and white album, an artist you recently revisited. It's been listening to this, Keith Jarrett, the Cohen concert. I love, could be a black and white too. I love this album. I just, when I wake up in the morning, just set it on there and sit there and relax, man. Just love this album. I don't have a lot of jazz albums, but you know, this one I will never get rid of. It's so beautiful. Keith Jarrett, man. Woo. Funny thing is, he said he hated the sound of that album, and I don't understand it. It's so beautiful. Next album. The next thing, a record that another VC person put you onto. So Headley, another fat bearded man talking about records, did this whole thing on the Playboy record company, and they put us 4 albums out, and this was one of those albums. Doc Kirby and Company, and all the albums had the same people playing on them. This thing is a funky country beast, just funky. I mean, look at that cover. Dude's like sitting there with a gun in his hand, and they're all joking around and laughing. You need to like check this out on YouTube. This is a cool album, and all the other albums that he talked about on that, if you ever see him, you should check that out. Check his video out. It's very interesting. They're all really good. Headley always finds the good stuff. Sorry, I got so much road on here. I gotta go back every time. An album you have a hot take on. Well, it's not really a hot take, but I wish that like more people. So this is kind of about this, but like albums that should be put on vinyl that aren't. It drives me crazy. Like Dwight Yoakam has released this and most of his other early albums like 3 or 4 times, and I want him to do This Time. Like, it was his best-selling record he ever done. Such a good album. It just hasn't been released. It just drives me crazy. It's like, I don't know if it's the record label or what, but that album should be on vinyl. It's so good. And obviously his albums sell because he keeps reissuing all of them. So this is a great album too, but you know, I'm just saying that I would love to see This Time on vinyl. Okay. Their second album was better. I'm going to go with Jamie Johnson, The Lonesome Song. Love this album. If you look behind me, right up there, I have it autographed. I've met Jamie a bunch of times. Just great guy. His first album was had the quarter on it. It was a very good album. Don't get me wrong. It was a good album, but this album changed his life. Like, this has In Color in it, on it, and it's just, this might have been the start of, like, the true start of, like, the outlaw guys coming back. Like, you know, you got your Cody Jinks and Sturgill and all that. Like, he was the guy. Like, he was probably one of the first guys to have Dave Cobb produce his album. Like, this album is one of my favorite albums ever. He's amazing. He's great live. If you ever get a chance, he has like a 15-piece band up on stage with him. Just killer. All right. VC shout out. You want me? I have to name a few people I've been watching. I just liked Infidelity. He's got some interesting videos. I've watched a couple. He did another guy I want to put out there, Americana Sam's Americana tag, and it was very good. Another guy I've been really into, he's only got a few videos and he needs followers. Check him out. It's B. Garrettson. So it's B, then Garretson. He's doing, you know, some like all country Americana. Very interesting. He knows so much. If you haven't heard him, you should check him out. Very interesting. You know, and then as always, you know, I love Headley. You know, Shamrock and Records, Cheap and Cheerful, Jonathan. Lots of guys I watch, but you know, should check out those guys. They're pretty interesting. All right. Oh, it's one I didn't do. I didn't do the album with an F in the title. I'm sorry. I forgot that one. But we'll go on to the next one. Number 16, an album. It's when you try to write all this stuff, I get caught up, and I forget. I mess it up, So, a album, sorry, an album with a smile on the cover. I've got, Did I Shave? Did I Shave My Legs for This? By Dina Carter. She's smiling it up. I love, this is another one of those 90s albums. I'm happy I found it. Says Shave My Legs for This, and Strawberry Wine on it. And it's just a great, there's one other hit she had on this album. It was We Danced Anyway. Great album. I love her. She's a little hippie girl. I love her. Great album. The next one was a musician featured in a movie. This is Waylon Payne. This album's called Blue Eyes, The Harlot, The Queer, and The Pusher and Me. This is Jody Payne, Willie Nelson's guitarist, and Sammy Smith, Help Me Make It Through the Night fame. This is their son. Great. This album right here is beautiful. I love this album. It's basically a diary of his life. If you've never heard this, you should check it out. I got it signed right there. I bought this copy, and then I bought the signed copy on the end. It had like a note in it, signed by him. Just great album. Every song on this is very interesting. He's going to release his new one on vinyl. I mean, his first album on vinyl. I'd like to pick that up too. But the question, the musician featured in a movie. So, Waylon Payne was, he played Jerry Lee Lewis in Ring of Fire, the Johnny Cash movie. And he also played Hank Garland in the movie about him. I can't remember the name of it, but Crazy, I think it was called. But great actor. I think he's a great actor. And this album, I'm telling you, if you've never heard this, check it out. Great album. An album with a gatefold. I went with Lubbock on Everything, Terry Allen. Terry Allen, amazing singer, songwriter. He's a sculptor. He was friends with Townes Van Zandt and Guy Clark and all those guys. He's just the man. This album is so good. And I mean, it's just amazing if you've never heard him. He also, when Guy Clark died, he made a sculpture of a crow when he put Guy Clark's ashes in him. You should look it up online. It's beautiful. Great album. All right, let me flip this page. Sorry about the F one there. I forgot it. Number 19. Record that gets you pumped up. Yeah, this is my Friday, don't have to work Saturday album, Dorothy. This is Rock and Roll is Dead. Such a good album. Just non-stop, fast, want to drive fast, hard rock. Great album. I love this album. If you've never heard it, you should check it out. Just good rock. And her voice is beautiful. I saw her with open up for Lita Ford and Hailstorm with my wife once, and I thought she was better than both of them. So good. Next. An album you wish you could experience for the first time again. Hank 3, Straight to Hell. This album, I'm so glad they put it on vinyl because I'd never had it on vinyl. It has about the coolest vinyl I've seen. Look at that. But I remember when this album came out, I had heard Hank 3, but when this album came out, I was a metalhead mostly, and this did change my life. Like I started listening to country again because this was metal, country, rock. It had a little bit of everything, but it just changed my way. I went back to loving country and loving everything about country music. And I found my love for stuff. I mean, I still love metal. I still love everything, but I am a country guy. It's because of this album. It made me like, oh, well, there's still outlaws out there. There's still cool stuff, you know. Love this album. I always will. All right. An album. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. I'm on the bonus questions. Okay. Show a 10-inch or a 7-inch. Well, I'm going to show Billy Joe Shaver. This is Wacko from Waco. If you've never heard this, it's a great song. It's funny. It's about him when he got in trouble for shooting somebody. Very interesting song. It's really good. Number 2 bonus question. Favorite reissue of 2024. It came out at the end of the year. It's OCMS, the first Okro Medicine Show album. Yeah, I was so happy that they really reissued this onto vinyl because just always wanted this on vinyl, and you know, I'm just happy it's there. That's all I can say about that. All right, 3, an album or a musician you would like to see in a movie. I'm gonna go with Danny, Amigo the Devil. I don't know if you've heard him. Danny I've seen him a lot. He's a funny, interesting guy. He writes some dark lyrics, but he is so cool. I think he would be a great actor, especially in a horror movie, but Amigo the Devil. A record a friend gifted you. My friend Gary Francisco, he owns Cisco Kid Records. He gave me the Tony Rice Unit, Manzanita. This was one of my most wanted albums for years. And for Christmas, I went to meet up with him he was doing a little record show thing, and he's like, I got you a present, and this is what he gave me. Love him. Great dude. This album's amazing. And, all right, and last, 5, a record featuring spoken word. Hymn of a Troubled Man's Mind. This is Oliver Anthony. I could have used this for, the one where you were saying like a hot take, because, a lot of people don't like him because they think the way he sways politically. I think this album is amazing. It's beautiful. He is very interesting. I grew up very poor, and so I understand where he's coming from. Just a great album, but he does a bunch of prayers and talking in this, and it's very, very good album. Well, that's all I got for you, Fluffy. I hope you enjoyed it.